Adding the National League is one of the most common requests and the common leaks that I've seen in FIFA history. People seem to really want the English 5th Division to be added to the game, and as one of the small amount of people who have actually experienced what this would be like in a FIFA game, I thought I'd share my view on why this could or could not be a very good idea. As with most things like this, there are definitely some pros and cons. If you're interested in seeing some gameplay and a fun story from the National League though, make sure you check out the series that I've just uploaded at the end of this video. The second part of the series will be out 2 days after I release this video, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Anyway, I'm sure you'll have a list of pros in your head already for adding the Vanarama National League, so let's start off with the negatives. Firstly, the level of player in the National League is basically the exact same as it is in League 2. This isn't just the mod that I'm using, being lazy and copying stats from Division 4 teams, but it's actually true in real life as well. The best teams in the National League really never get relegated after they've been promoted. In fact, in the last 5 years, Barrow is the only team that had any risk of being relegated the season after they were promoted, and even in this case, they still managed to finish 5 points ahead of the relegation zone. So what does this actually mean for FIFA? Well, instead of extending the curve you'd have to face on the road to glory, making it more difficult every season, instead you'd just be adding a very similar second season into your save. Sure, the teams are different in the National League and the players are maybe 1 overall better on average in the League 2, but you get the same experience by just failing to get promoted in Season 1 in FIFA 23 already. Another unexpected con is the amount of player faces, stadiums and kits we'd get. We'd end up with home and away kits for every team, probably no goalkeeping kits at all. Ex-Premier League players rarely drop to Division 5 as well, so you'd have almost no real face players in this league. And of course, unless there was a massive push for some smaller stadiums to be added to the game, there's never been a team with a licensed stadium on FIFA drop to the 5th Division in England. This means the majority of the teams would feel exactly the same. All the players with generic faces would look the same, a lot of the kits would also be the exact same templates, just in slightly different colour combinations. It's a bit like eating Weetabix. I think playing in the National League would get pretty old and boring pretty fast. However, don't get me wrong, I do think there are also some real positives with adding this league. Of course, you get another 24 towns and cities who get to use their local teams in England. Hundreds of players would get to see themselves in a video game, and you'd also be able to do some true Road to Glories with really small teams. Some of the teams in League 2 are still bigger than First Division sides in other European countries, whereas in the National League I don't think you can say this is the case for a single club, and there's some really small towns and villages in here that do deserve to have some footballing success. If the National League was on FIFA 23, we would have had Oxford City, who were founded in 1862, and Notts County, who are even older, both on the game. Speaking of Notts County, the whole situation with them and Wrexham was a massive story last year, but we couldn't recreate that on FIFA. Former league clubs like Scunthorpe United, Yeovil Town and Southend United would have all been playable this season as well. I have to admit, it would also be a great way to introduce new fans to some of these tiny clubs in English football. People who might not normally watch football might be interested in watching the National League if it was included in FIFA. I support Nottingham Forest, but because of Road to Glory with Portsmouth, I do still have a soft spot for them just because they had that real stadium and they were a real fall from grace, which made them super fun on an old FIFA. My final point of why the National League should be added is that it would be a great way to actually support some of these lower league clubs financially. The money that EA would pay to license the National League could be spread throughout the clubs, and it would actually be a significant boost for most of the clubs in the league. While some of these teams are only earning a few £1,000s from their main sponsors, if they got a similar size payment from EA, they could really increase the standard of play at this level quite a lot in real life. I'll leave it up to you to decide if you think the pros outweigh the cons in this situation. If the National League is ever added, I do think it would basically just become an extension of League 2, where you'd only pick a team in Division 5 if you're not interested or you've used all the ones at Division 4 already. Like I said, there are some real benefits to adding it, especially in real life situations, so let me know in the comments beneath this video what your opinion is on adding the National League. Check out the playlist on screen right now if you want to see some gameplay using the National League with the EEP mod on PC FIFA. I had an amazing time playing it, it was a really cool story, and I think you'd really enjoy the video. But thanks for watching, cheers and goodbye.